What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another reaction video. We got forgotten NFL All-Pro wide receivers of the 2010s that will bring back memories. Let's check this
Julio
out.
Jones.
Ryan steps through it, throws on the run, and Jones.
Julio.
Phenomenal catch by Julio Jones on the
My
sideline.
favorite receiver of all
Desean
time.
Jackson.
Down, fires downfield.
D-Jax.
Jackson missed the last 7 games, and he
Definition
will
of
take
a true
it
burner right
81
there.
yards.
OBJ.
And Manning's gonna heave one.
That's crazy how much he changed the NFL off one catch, bro.
How in the world? Oh my goodness.
Deandre Hopkins.
They're down at 8.
D-Hop.
Watson pass downfield, and what a catch.
That nigga nasty.
Deandre Hopkins.
I can't wait what he gonna do with my Ravens this year, bro.
All the way across the formation, and what a catch.
There was a time when Sundays felt different. Julio Jones had the athleticism, Desean Jackson had the speed, OBJ had the swagger, DeAndre Hopkins had the magic, and Michael Thomas had the hands. Together, they formed the greatest
Shit, you could have said
era
hands for D-Hop, you know what I'm saying?
of wide receivers the NFL may have ever seen. So today we're going back to toe-tap touchdowns, jaw-dropping catches, and pure domination. These are the 2010s wide receivers that will bring back memories, starting with Julio Jones.
Julio. Bro, I really wish he would have ended his
here's the
career with a
thing.
ring,
There's
man.
wide receivers, and then there's Julio Jones. He was 6'3", 220 pounds, had 4.3 speed, and a catch radius that made quarterbacks look better than they were. From 2014 to 2019, Julio led the entire NFL in receiving yards.
Low-key
and
kind of a
no
knock
one
at Matt
else was
Ryan, though, I ain't
even
gonna lie.
close. In that 6-year stretch, he averaged 104 yards per game, and in 2015, he had a season for the ages. 136 catches, 1,871 yards, and 8 touchdowns. That was the third most receiving yards ever in a single season. And in 2016, he followed it up with 1,400 yards in just 14 games. But his
Like, he
numbers
was
don't even
legitimately
tell the full
unguardable, bro.
story. That's because, well, when you watched him actually play the game, he could break open the game at any moment. Double
facts.
teams, he bullied through them. Press coverage, he was too fast
The
off the
iconic,
line. And
what
every
was it,
once in a
300-yard
while,
game
he
against
delivered
Carolina or some
something
shit?
so outrageous, it
That
didn't
nigga
feel
went
real.
stupid.
Like
that
in a
game.
game against the Panthers in 2016,
Yeah.
he had 12 catches, 300 yards,
That
and a
shit is
touchdown.
ridiculous.
Only 6 players in history have ever hit 300 yards in a game, and Julio did it with ease. Then there was
I
the
ain't gonna
Super
hold it,
Bowl
go
hit
back.
300 yards in a
That nigga Megatron was different, gang. I'm sorry, like, nigga, a wide receiver that can just go up and catch it in triple coverage? Insane,
game,
bro.
and Julio did it with ease. Then there was the Super Bowl catch, toe tapping on the sideline, midair with a defender draped all over him. One of the most incredible plays in Super Bowl history. Even
That
if the
should have sealed
Falcons
them
didn't
the
finish the
Super
job.
Bowl win,
By
too.
the time he did leave Atlanta, though, Julio had racked up 7 Pro Bowls, 2 first-team All-Pro selections, 12,896
Future first
receiving
ballot
yards
Hall of
with the
Famer.
Falcons, the most in franchise history, and a career total of over 13,600 yards, making him top 20 all time. But here's the thing that made Julio really special, though. He didn't need all the attention. He didn't dance, he didn't trash talk, he didn't chase the spotlight. He just lined up, torched your defense, and jogged back like it was a regular day at work. In an era full of flashy receivers, Julio let his game do the talking, and it screamed greatness. He wasn't just
That's
a
what made him
product of a
different from
good
everybody
offense
else.
or a lucky system. He was the system. Ask any defensive coordinator from that era. If you were facing the Falcons, your biggest fear wasn't Matt Ryan. It was number 11 lined up wide, waiting to ruin your Sunday. But while Jones was a 6'3" monster, Desean Jackson was quite the opposite.
That's all that nigga was,
Standing
bro.
only about
Straight.
5'10" and 175
Blur your
pounds,
shit.
Jackson wasn't the
Quick
biggest
minute.
receiver, but that didn't matter. He was lightning in cleats, the definition of home run speed. Every
Facts.
time Desean Jackson touched the ball, you held your breath, because in a split second, he could flip the entire game. One cut, one burst, one missed tackle, and he was gone.
Hurts on first down, fires downfield. It's Desean Jackson back in the
God
lineup.
damn.
It's the last 7 games, and he will take it 81 yards, a somersault into the end zone.
And that's the thing too, in the 2010s, no one was better at taking the top off of defenses quite like Desean
That is
Jackson.
facts.
He led the NFL in yards per catch 4 times in his career, and from 2010 to 2019, he was the king of the deep ball. He had 26 career touchdowns of 60 yards or more, the most in NFL history. And everybody remembers the Monday Night Football game, 2010,
Yep,
Eagles
and
versus...
that motherfucker lost his job right there. Like, look at this nigga, bro. Look at his eyes. He know he was about to fuck up on this shit.
Giants. Game is tied.
Bro was nervous as
final
hell.
seconds. The Giants punted away. And
Like, why
Desean
not kick it
muffed
out of bounds?
Then-
Like, what are you doing?
Waits,
Idiot.
and it's a line drive kick. Jackson bobbles it and now has to try and recover. Desean Jackson gets a block. Are you kidding? Desean
That's
Jackson
tough.
still not in and now in for the touchdown. No flags.
In
I
his
could imagine
prime,
what
he
his
put up
coach said to him in the
multiple
locker room.
1,000-yard seasons with different quarterbacks in different systems. 1,056 yards in 2013 with the Eagles, 1,169 yards in 2014 with the Washington Redskins, 1,005 yards in 2016 in DC again, and even in 2019 at the age of 32, he opened the season with 2 deep touchdowns
Oh, I
in his
remember this
first
game.
game back with Philly. When you look back at the 2010s, he was one of the most electric players
And he played
in
for the
league.
Raiders,
A
my
walking,
Ravens.
talking highlight
I still
reel
remember
with
that
turbo
Jazz
jets
game where he
in
had
his
that
shoes.
bomb.
Julio Jones had the
still
athleticism.
lost.
Desean Jackson had the speed.
Surprisingly.
OBJ had the swagger.
Bro, injuries really ruined his career though, bro. Like, real spill. I remember the game he had against us. I think it was around like 2016 or something like that. Like, bro, this nigga killed us, boy. Remember he took a slant to the house.
Oh, there's a flag. Beckham, one-handed catch. How in the world?
Oh my goodness. That may be the greatest
Crazy.
catch I've ever seen in my life.
Broke the
Every
internet with that
generation
shit.
has a player that shakes up the entire league. In the 2010s, that player was Odell Beckham Jr. But while most remember OBJ for his one-handed catch, Odell was special before and after that moment.
Facts.
Surprisingly enough, too, he didn't start until week 5 of his rookie season and still went crazy. In his first 3 seasons, he put up 1,305 yards and 12 touchdowns, 1,450 yards and 13 touchdowns, then 1,367
Like, look at this stretch, bro. If it weren't for injuries, my nigga, oh my gosh. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck. He would have went down as probably like a top 5 receiver of all time, bro, if he could stay healthy. Cause he had the talent. He just could never stay healthy for shit.
10 touchdowns.
Got hurt with
That's
the
over
Giants,
4,000 yards
Browns,
and 35 touchdowns
Rams.
faster than anyone
Like,
in
bruh.
NFL history at the time.
He barely played
And he did
last year.
All with crazy catches, blazing speed, and fearless plays across the middle.
Oh my
Defenses
gosh,
had
what
to
a
double
block.
catches, blazing speed,
Damn.
and fearless plays across the middle. Defenses had to double him, safeties had to shade his way, and it still didn't matter. But that's the cool part too. OBJ wasn't just a star on the field. The dude was everywhere.
Facts.
Red carpets, Drake's house,
Yeah,
dancing on boats
he had
before
that
playoff
drip on,
games,
though, for sure.
from custom cleats to viral dance moves. He was bigger than football, and that came with chaos. Sometimes the fire that made him electric burned just a little too hot.
That game he
time
had against
headbutted a
Josh
kicking
Norman.
net, then hugged it the next
Boy.
week after scoring. Or my favorite, the fight with Josh Norman,
Like
where they turned a football game into
Bro,
a
I ain't gonna lie.
personal
Who
grudge.
had the better rivalry, Josh Norman, OBJ, or Akeem Talib and I said Akeem Talib and Michael Crabtree, bro. Them two niggas was always going at it, but I ain't gonna lie. I might go Crabtree and Talib because Talib snatched that nigga chain. Me personally, I wouldn't let that slide. I'm gonna keep it a buck.
Complete with late hits, helmet swings, and chaos after
These
every
motherfuckers
whistle.
actually
He'd
like
throw
truly
punches on
hated
the
each
field
other,
and
bro.
parties off of it. OBJ was an absolute roller coaster. You never knew if you were going to get an insane touchdown or an emotional meltdown, but either way, it was entertaining. Later in his career, injuries did begin to pile up, and the trade to Cleveland looked good on paper, but never truly clicked. Still, he did make it to the Super Bowl with the Rams in 2021 and scored a touchdown.
only went
before
there because
tearing his
Jarvis
ACL
Landry.
on the biggest stage. Well, kind of actually. Turns out that, Odell Beckham didn't even have an ACL in that game. Yes, Odell Beckham Jr. had been playing without an ACL the entire season.
Wow.
And you're probably asking, how is that even possible? Well, no one really even knows.
What
Doctors
the
just say that he
fuck?
let the adrenaline carry him through every single play. And the wildest part too was that he knew. OBJ had known his ACL was gone from the jump, but he didn't care. He bet on himself anyway, played
He
through it
He
anyway,
definitely balled out
put
that
his
year for
body
sure.
on
He
the
would have
line
won
for
Super
a
Bowl
shot at
MVP if it
glory,
wasn't for
and
that.
He got his Super Bowl ring. And despite many injuries, OBJ is still playing the game of football. That is, if anyone does decide to sign him, because
I think he goes back to the
at
Giants.
the time of this video. But while OBJ was a loud player, DeAndre Hopkins didn't need to yell.
I feel like,
He
I feel
flex
like he gonna
after
go
every
stupid
catch
this
or
year.
demand the spotlight.
Cause like, bro,
his
people
games
forget
look
like 2 seasons ago he had 1,000 yards with the Titans. Just saying, you know what I'm
fire than
saying?
words ever
Like,
could.
He can definitely get back to that form this year for sure. But we got so many, different weapons. So
Hopkins was
He
the
at least
silent
gonna get like
assassin of
500
the
yards.
2010's, quiet, calculated, and absolutely unstoppable. He came into the league in 2013 with the Houston Texans and didn't waste a second.
he ended
Even
D'Angelo
as a
Hall
rookie,
career.
you could see it. The footwork, the hands, the
Bruh.
control, fastest guy on the field, but he always got open. And when the ball was in the air, it was already his. But here's what makes his story so wild. For the first half of his career, he had no elite quarterback. From 2013 to 2016,
had to catch passes
Hopkins
from
caught
Matt
passes
Schaub.
from Matt Schaub, Ryan Fitzpatrick,
Like,
Case
bruh.
Keenum, Ryan Mallett, Brian Hoyer, Tom
God
Savage,
damn.
Brock Osweiler, and TJ Yates. That's 8 different
Like,
quarterbacks
Texans
in
was
4
going
years,
through it.
and he still dominated. In 2015, he had 11 receptions.
That's how you can tell, like, the
1,521
decent
yards,
receivers from
and
the elite
11
receivers,
touchdowns
bro.
with 4 quarterbacks. He didn't complain. He didn't make excuses. He just lined up.
Wait,
ran
what the fuck?
4
Go back?
quarterbacks. He didn't complain. He
Oh my gosh, who threw that? I bet it was Matt Schaub
21
too.
yards.
I
and
bet it was
11
Matt Schaub who threw
touchdowns
that
with
nuthead
4
ass pass.
quarterbacks. He didn't
That shit should have been picked off.
He didn't make excuses. He just lined up, ran crisp
Bruh.
routes, and destroyed defenses. And once Deshaun
Was that against
Watson arrived
Ramsey?
in 2017, that's when Hopkins leveled up from star to superstar. From 2017 to 2019, he averaged over 105 catches, 1,300 plus yards, and 10 touchdowns a year. He was
Damn.
named first team All-Pro 3 times and made the Pro Bowl 5 years in a row. And every year you could count on 2 things. He'd be at the top of the league in stats, and he'd make a ridiculous how did he catch that play at least once a game. Fast forward to 2020,
Did that shit
Cardinals
last
versus
year.
Bills. Final seconds,
was that
Kyler Murray
Bucks
rolls
game?
out and launches a 50-yard.
It was either Bucks or the
Hail Mary.
Saints game. One
3
of them.
defenders are in perfect position, but somehow Hopkins goes up.
And these aren't no scrubs he's doing this on, bro. These at this time these were like 3 Pro Bowlers that he did this shit on. This play right here was crazy. But the fact that Kyler Murray even
3
got this
defenders
ball
are
off
in
was the
perfect
crazier
position,
part.
But somehow Hopkins goes up and
That
rips it away.
different,
It was
bro.
one of the greatest catches of the decade, and he
God
made it look
damn.
routine. And well, that was the thing about Hopkins. He wasn't flashy or loud, but the dude was automatic. In
Facts.
2018, he had 115 catches and 0 drops. DeAndre Hopkins was the kind of player who could beat you with precision, power, and patience. And yes, while he currently is on the Ravens, he isn't the same player he used to be. But when you talk about
he
2010
gonna ball out
wideouts,
this year.
he has to
Tell
be on
you
the
that.
list. Because pound for pound, game for game, nobody was more reliable than D-Hop. He just somehow found ways to get open, much like Michael Thomas could.
Hey, niggas know him as Slant Boy, but real ones know him as Kangar Mike. If we want to talk about it. This
Despite not
motherfucker was
being the
unguardable.
fastest or the flashiest, if you threw him the ball, he was going to catch it. Simple
Facts.
as that. Thomas entered the league in 2016 and immediately clicked with Drew Brees like they'd been playing for years. In his rookie season,
Injuries
he put
really
up
ruined
92
his career,
catches,
though.
1,137 yards, and 9 touchdowns, and that was just the warm-up. Because every year after that, he got even better. More targets, more yards, more catches, more dominance. From 2017 to 2019, he led the NFL in total receptions. He made 3
I remember
straight
first
Pro
time
Bowls,
me hearing
earned
this
2
nigga
first
talk,
team
I'm
All-Pro
like,
honors, and became
the
the
fuck?
#1 weapon in the Saints offense.
Bro, sound
Then came
completely different than
2019,
how I thought
the
he was
year
gonna
that
sound.
Michael Thomas broke football. 149 catches, the most in a single season in NFL history, which accounted for 1,725 yards and 9 touchdowns.
Insane,
The
bro.
dude caught everything. Short routes, deep ends, contested grabs, it didn't matter. They called him Can't Guard Mike for a reason. He didn't need big plays either. He would just drain your defense 10 yards
He
at a time.
hasn't played with like the
First
last
down,
3 years
first
now.
down, first down. He was a possession machine. Reliable, physical, and impossible to throw off his rhythm. But just as fast as he rose, everything crashed. In 2020, he dealt with a nagging ankle injury that just wouldn't go away.
Go back.
In 2020, he
Ooh, shit. What the fuck?
dealt with a nagging ankle injury that just wouldn't go away. He missed most of the season, then more injuries in 2021, then a setback in 2022. From 2020 to 2023, he played in only 20 games.
Wow.
Even off the field, things got messy too. Frustration with the team, trade rumors, social media jabs, the perfect Saints-Breeze connection was gone, and so was the Can't Guard Mike magic. Just like OBJ, Thomas is currently a free agent looking for a new team. And while no one wants these
do y'all
guys
think
now,
that MT
there
comes
definitely was
back?
a time when every team in the league would have done
I don't know, he might be
anything
done
to
for. I ain't
have
gonna
them.
lie.
They were the highlight, the headline, and the reason we
I'm surprised he ain't put
watched football
Megatron in his
every
vid.
week. Because these were the wide receivers that made Sunday special. The ones that bring back memories we'll never be able to forget.
That is fact, man. Hey, shit, I want to know what you guys think down in the comments below. Y'all let me know what other NFL videos I'm to react to. Without further ado, I'm out.
I'ma make them feel me, make them people when they show me. And if you don't know me, I'ma make sure that you know me. I hate to say it, but I really think I'm broke. But I know I'm chosen, I really know I'm chosen. I know I'm chosen. I was just lost a year ago, but now I'm focused. When good at sports, this microphone can be my trophy. Not taking drugs, I found a better way of coping.